Yeemik, bound and gagged, led the party into a chamber that was the source of the cave stream. Two fellow goblins rushed over to free Yeemik, but unable to warn them, Spendorious leapt from the darkened passageway to chop the first goblin in half. Azorio let out a ray of frost, freezing the second goblin's hand to Yeemik's ropes. Spendorious informed the goblin of his pending death. The frightened goblin struggled to get free, shattering his frozen arm to break loose, but he did not make it far before being impaled by Spendorious's javelin. When the party entered the second chamber, they were met by a smoldering fire that sat between a stack of Lionshield Caster crates and a single stalagmite. Yeemik was forced to enter the chamber first. Spendorious threatened Yeemik that he would be fed to a wild beast if he did not tell the party what lie in wait beyond the shadows. Just then, a giant wolf named Ripper leapt from behind the stalagmite, tearing Yeemik to shreds. Spendorious landed a blow in the wolf's side, and Azorio finished off Ripper with another ray of frost. As Ripper fell to the ground, shattering into pieces, Sandowish from atop the crates could see Klarg escaping down a rocky chimney. Sandowish followed down the chimney, but found himself facing the three wolves from the entrance of the cave. Klarg was able to escape, and the party gathered up the stolen supplies to continue on to Phandalin. The rutted tracks emerge from a wooded hillside, and you catch your first glimpse of Phandalin. The town consists of 40 or 50 simple log buildings, some built on old flagstone foundations. More old, ruined, crumbling stone walls covered in ivy and briars surround the newer houses and shops, showing how this must have been a much larger town in centuries past. Most of the newer buildings are set on the side of the cart track, which widens into a muddy main street of sorts as it climbs towards the ruined manor house on the hillside at the east side of town. As you approach, you see children playing on the town green, and townsfolk tending to their chores or running errands at shops. Many people look up at you as you approach, but all return to their business as you go by. Sildar says, "My friends, let's secure lodging. I'm told there's a local inn that's very quaint."
As we're rolling into town, Sandowish will sneak back onto the back of the cart and pry open one of those blue lion crates.
Azorio sees the rogue do that out of the corner of his eye and goes over and peers over at the action.
Sildar notices, "What are you doing? That's for Lenine Greywind."
Well, Sandowish continues working on the crate. Just some minor repairs over here. I think they were damaged by those goblins in the cave.
Azorio tries to take Sildar Hallwinter to the side and distract him. He tries to talk about local history with Sildar. What do you think the origins of this town was? Do you think it dates back all the way to the age of the Forgotten Kings?
He turns away from Sandowish and he says, "Well, it was a much older town at one other time. I believe it was maybe ruined by orcs." And he goes on and starts to speak about his speculation of the town's history.
Sandowish continues with the repairs to the crate, aka check it out what's inside. I feel like I have a crowbar, but I know I don't. I'm prying that bitch open.
With your fingies?
With my fingies. I don't know, I just thought it was like nailed shut or something.
Yeah, have you ever tried to open a nailed shut crate?
I just assumed it was nailed shut, so I'm prying it open with my sword, I guess. We're just making some repairs over here with my sword. Were we talking about a 5 minutes into the session, sword breaks in half? Because that'd be down with that.
Sandowish stabs his sword into the crack, and he pulls down with all his might, but being so small, he's only able to lift the crates a few inches to peek inside.
I peek inside.
It's too dark.
I shine the lantern in there.
It is just more mining supplies.
Score.
In the midst of his talk with Sildar, Azorio tries to see if he can ascertain whether or not there is a Temple of Ogma in Phandalin.
I don't believe so, but there is an elf cleric here of Tamoria, if that's something that would please you, being of the elven persuasion.
I don't think so because, we're not in need of any healing right now. There's not really much cross-fertilization going on between Ogma and Tamara right now.
Fine, suit yourself.
Okay, I will.
Good, I'm glad you will.
Very well then.
Sandowish hops back up onto the seats next to Spendorious. It is just more mining equipment, so nothing to worry about. Probably we'll get a better reward just for returning it and then, trying to sell it ourselves.
Spendorious, he's got long, blonde, curly wig on today and a fake mole, and he's smoking the Cruella de Vil cigarette, and he takes a drag from his cigarette and he says, Sandowish, I encourage you all to do what you want. However, I urge us to go to the tavern as soon as possible, for I have business to attend to that will bring us all much more wealth than whatever scheme is going on here right now. You have with whatever we're carrying with us. I've had lots of time to think.
You roll up to Barthorn's Provisions. A bell rings when you walk into Barthorn's Provisions. The store is lined with shelves stocked high with mostly ordinary goods and supplies. There's a 55-year-old, lean, balding human man at the counter working on an inventory while two young clerks zip around the warehouse restocking shelves. The man, Barthorn, looks up from his paperwork and he says in a kindly manner, How can I help you gentlemen today?
We have the shipment from Gundar Rockseeker here. I'm sure you will be glad to receive it.
Yes, I haven't even seen him come in yet.
He was detained on the way. We're hoping that he is restored to his proper goodness.
Did he have to go to another town or something like that?
You could say so.
Well, I hope he comes soon. I know his brothers, Nandro and Thander, camping out somewhere outside of town. They should be back soon, I expect.
We would be interested in knowing the specifics of where they're camping if you would know.
I just know they're somewhere outside of town. I'm sure they're waiting to see Gundren, since he'll probably arrive pretty soon,
Well,
too.
let me speak more plainly. When I said he was detained, unfortunately, he was actually...
Sandowish nudges Azorio. Stop talking. And Sandowish says, what he means is Gundren told us to collect the payment, and we're going to bring it back to him because he was just sleeping off a hangover again. You know how he is.
The payment's supposed to be to you, not Gundren.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
sweet.
we will gladly accept that payment.
All right, well, let me, Ander, Thrystal, go outside and get these provisions stocked up here, you two. Come on now. And Elmar Barthen digs around in the counter. He pulls out a stack of gold coins and gives each of you 10 gold pieces.
Ooh, sweet.
Nice.
That's a lot.
Elmar says, were you boys staying in town or are you going to work at the mines once Gundren gets them all set up?
We're just going to stay in town for a little bit. We have a business elsewhere.
Hey, boss! Bristol, what are you doing? Don't put that there! You know not to put that there! Ander, what I tell you? You gotta watch that boy! God damn, what were you saying? Sorry there, son. What's your name?
I am Azorio.
Azorio, nice to meet ya. I'm Elmar. What about you two? What's the dark, quiet, silent type back there doing?
Which one of us are you talking to?
Well, I'll take your name, Shorty.
He wouldn't even understand. I'm Sandowish.
Nice to meet you. How about you, pretty boy?
I am Spendorious at your service.
Well, that's nice to... Hey, stop bothering me here, boy. I'm trying to talk to these people. What are you doing, Thistle? Thistle, you're always causing problems here. Sorry, sir. I'm just trying to move these provisions in. Ander, you gotta watch this kid. I can't believe I trusted you on this one. Well, it's nice to meet you all.
Yes, Elmar. It was nice to deliver, and we'll tell Gundren you said hi when we see him.
All right, well, I appreciate it because we're having a hard time around here.
What seems to be the difficulty?
Well, I mean, with these red brands coming in every day and shaking us down, it's hard to keep any money around here. I gotta hire these two terrible boys. I mean, they can't stock worth shit. If I could make some money, I could hire at least someone who could count.
Sandowish shakes his head and says, I've dealt with those guys before.
Well, I'd appreciate if you deal with them again, because they're making a hard time on my business.
Well, I would if only I could locate.
Sir, where does this one go? Thistle! God damn it, you know where that sack goes. Now put it in the back and stop asking. Ander, keep an eye on him. Yes, sir.
Let's go, guys.
Bye, Elmar.
I've got a bad feeling about this place.
Come back if you need any supplies. I got all you need. Hopefully Thistle and Ander here won't destroy all of them before you get back.
You take it easy on those boys.
Well, they need to take it easy on me.
Nice to have made your acquaintance.
You head on over to Lionshield Caster. Hanging above the front door of this modest trading post is a sign shaped like a wooden shield with a blue lion painted on top. You enter and you find a 35-year-old sharp-tongued human woman at the counter. The woman says, "What do you need?"
We're adventurers. We found some loot of yours in a cave.
Well, I had a bunch of provisions that never showed up. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, this must be them, but it looks like some goblins might have damaged some of the crates.
Did those rat bastard Red Brants steal them? Is that where you found them? Because if I find them, I'm going to tear their balls off and shove it down the fucking throat.
Wow. That is some fiery words from a maiden of your sort.
I gotta run this thing around here. But you sweet boys, if you found my treasure, I got something for you. Is that what you're saying? You found my,
Yes.
you found my stuff?
A finder's fee would be much appreciated.
You gonna give us some Brooklyn-style pizza or something?
I don't know what Brooklyn is, sweetheart, but I'll tell you what I'll do for you. Since you were so good to me, I'll give you 50 gold or 60 gold in store credit, any weapons, armor you want. 60 gold. Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
Spendorious steps forward and he says,
Wow, you really painted up there.
he steps forward and he says, "I'll do you one better.
Oh, yeah?
How would you be interested in owning some prime real estate?"
Nah, I gotta take care of this.
Spendorious turns around. He motions forward with a gloved hand. Come hither together.
Take your time. I'm just working on the inventory here.
We're all huddled up, and then Spendorious says, "What's the plan, everybody?"
Well, I think you should just take the 50 gold unless you really need more armors and weapons.
That sounds good to me.
Who's a good haggler? Maybe we can get her up to like 55.
Why don't you just take the 50 gold? I mean, that's quite a bit of money we didn't expect.
I think that's a good point. To my name, I only have, right now, not including other assets, 52 gold.
You should also have 150 copper pieces, if I remember, because we split that 600 copper pieces 4 ways.
I have 200 copper pieces. I automatically converted that to 2 gold.
You went to that ATM out in the woods, right? Okay.
Instead of saying, I have 200 copper pieces, 15 silver pieces, and so we all have to do the calculations together, we could just automatic, we're all on the same page, gold pieces, and we adjust accordingly.
Right.
Well, but it would help me to know that you have copper pieces in case I need change.
Sildar's got a point.
What do you rat bastards want?
So we're in the huddle, and Sandowish says, Sildar's got a pretty strong point there. It is nice to make some change. And then he turns around, says to the lady, all right, we've all agreed. How about 55 gold for the provisions?
All right, if that's what you want, I'll give you 55 gold in store credit. I was going to give you 60, but you only want 55.
No, 55
that's fine.
Gold.
Yeah, in store credit, that's fine. Okay.
We'll do 70 store credit or 55 hard cash.
I only got 50 gold right now.
Well,
that's all I can give you, hon.
You know, Bertrand over there.
Take it or leave it. I don't really care. Okay. See you guys.
Bertrand offered us 70 for your wares because he knew you had something special in there.
Well, they're already in the warehouse now, so.
They already loaded them up?
Oh, yeah. I don't have those dummies down at Barthen's Provisions that Anda and Thistle. Boy, those kids, they don't know what they're doing. Poor Elmore has to deal with those 2 dummies. It's terrible. Just awful.
Your boys are so quiet.
Very quiet. They know they're going to have problems.
All right, let's take the 50 gold.
Okay, here you go. You get 50 gold altogether. Now you listen here, though. If you got those from those rat bastard Red Brants, you fucking take care of them. Because I'm sick of this shit. I won't serve them here. I won't sell them nothing no more.
Why do you dislike the Red Brand so much?
They're messing up the economy of this town. They're shaking down everybody here. I won't take it. They know I won't. And I'll tell you what. Don't go down to Sleeping Giant, because that's where they always at. But don't go down to that Sleeping Giant tap house. That's where they always are at, and they're always causing problems.
Anyway, sweeties, thanks for bringing my stuff back. I appreciate it. If you ever need any weapons or armory here, come on down. I'll help you out. I'll give you a good deal.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, when we get outside, Sandowish quietly says to the boys, all right, listen up. The Red Brands, I used to run with those guys. They're nothing but trouble. Even tried to backstab me when my back was turned to them.
Spendorious's eyes begin to glimmer with madness.
Listen, this is the next town they were supposed to hit before I got, more or less kicked out. But really, there's this guy, the glass ass staff. He's the one who tried to have me killed.
I'm sorry that you had such a involvement with such low criminal underworld elements.
Well, I was the best one there.
Spendorious says, and how are we going to bring this gentleman to justice?
Well, it sounds like if we find this glass ass staff, as you referred to, that we might find Gundren. Maybe he's involved with this whole thing.
Where are the two connected?
Well, I mean, if the Red Brands are pilfering this town, maybe Gundren's presence and potentially bringing large crowds of miners here could impede their criminal acts.
If we get enough tough guys who can defend themselves, then maybe we can run out the Red Brands.
Yes. Unfortunately, we don't have much other tough guys but me.
You are pretty tough.
There's one other thing. I think I might be able to figure out how to locate the Red Brand's vile nest.
How is that?
Well, I've heard of this man or woman named Halia Thornton that lives here, and supposedly Glass Ass, the ass staff, also tried to have her killed or rubbed out or something like that.
Well, maybe we should question her tomorrow. It's getting dark now, so let us head over to the local inn.
We're not going to the Sleeping Giant, though, are we?
I think we should.
I think that's some kind of roadhouse that the Red Brands hang out at.
And we should go there because it sounds like there are a lucrative business opportunity and also a chance to get revenge for Sandowish and make those who made him suffer in their own cruel ways.
Spendorious, you have a good point there, but I think it might be better choice to go to the inn tonight first and gather some information from the locals and prepare ourselves for battle tomorrow night.
Now just look, if any of you spot one of those Red Brands, just keep it on the DL because they might be out to get me still. You can tell that they're Red Brands because they all wear when Glass Ass the ass staff almost killed me, I bonked my head pretty good. Oh yeah, if you guys see anyone wearing a red cape, that's a Red Brand, so let me know because I'm gonna need to hide.
We will not draw any unwarranted attention to you.
I think what Sandowish is suggesting is that perhaps while he's in hiding, we come up with our own way to kidnap one of them. And then after doing that, we can bring him to Sandowish to find out what's really going on.
How would we determine which one to kidnap? Who is the weakest link?
They are all weak. Anybody we can find that's isolated with a red cape will be ripe for the picking.
May I suggest that we don't talk about this in the middle of the street and we head to the inn where we could have some privacy?
Yes, we have private business to discuss. We shall order their most private, secret, soundproof room to discuss our nefarious activities.
Well, I think maybe just sitting in their common hall and eating a good meal and having maybe a ale or two might work just as fine, too.
Yes, no one could possibly overhear our plan there.
Well, I don't know if there's any Red Brands there, but we'll see. We can always talk in our room.
That sounds more appropriate.
Spendorious gathers Sandowish and Azorio together, and he whispers to you both, just remember what hasn't been mentioned. These Red Brands, if they remove their red cape, we won't be able to tell if they're Red Brands or not. Right?
Right.
It sounds like they're so saucy and wanton that they would wear their insignia all around to make sure that their vile name is known.
Spendorious ponders that.
Okay, we go to the inn.
In the center of the town stands a large, newly built roadhouse of flagstone and rough-hewed timber. The common room is filled with locals nursing mugs of ale or cider, all of them eyeing you with curiosity.
Spendorious says, "What's the order of business?"
Well, maybe we should get ourselves a room and have a place to sleep tonight and then get some food and drink.
I like that.
Spendorious says, "That was very generous of you to offer. If you could go ahead and arrange that for all of us, that would be great. We thank you in advance."
Well, I'll get myself a room. I don't know where you'll sleep. And Sildar walks over to the counter.
Spendorious says, "That's the kind of selfishness that you can expect when you journey outside of the city."
Just remember, you're right. Any one of these hunks could be a red brand. And Sandowish eyes the room suspiciously.
Spendorious eyes the room suspiciously too. When Sandowish looks at Spendorious, he looks away really fast. He was thinking even Sandowish could perhaps be a red brand.
He was a red brand.
Yeah, well, that's why he was looking at you like,
Maybe I'm still a red brand.
they really could be anywhere, couldn't they?
Nice.
Spendorious and Sandowish eye the room. They see at the common table is an older gentleman with mud-stained clothes, a coal-stained, widely-eyed haired man. You see a young boy running around and a woman also eating at the table, while two other women sling food and ale to awaiting customers.
Spendorious goes over to the muddy guy. He's just going to listen to what they're talking about.
So you hear the mud-stained man go, "Gonna rain tomorrow." And the woman says, "Yep." And they just keep eating and drinking.
Spendorious squints to himself, processing the knowledge in his head.
Azorio orders a meal. He feels sapped mentally from a long day.
You sit down and an older woman comes up and she says, "What can I do for you, dear?"
Azorio feels warmed by being called dear, and he says, "Oh, just a fine portion of poultry, please, with a side of potatoes and vegetables."
All right, coming right up. I'll get you a disc, and just to let you know, it's 3 silver pieces for a meal. Just pay after you're finished. And if you want any drinks, just talk to Elsa. She'll get you any drinks you need, and I'm Trelina.
Thank you, Trelina.
All right, well, I'll get that for you, and just call Elsa over if you want anything to drink.
Okay.
She hurries off to the back room.
Sandowish will go up to the front desk and get us all a room by saying, "Hey there.
Oh, hi there. I didn't notice you down there. How can I help you?
We'll be bunking with Sildar tonight. What's the extra cost to add beds to that room?"
Well, each room has just one bed, but I still do have 5 rooms left.
All right, and I'll order 3 rooms for us all.
All right, and that will be 15 silver pieces.
Here you go.
Thank you very much. And if you want any food and drink, just sit down. Elsa over there can get you drinks, and my wife, Trelina, we can get you any food you'd like.
What's your name?
Sorry for my rudeness. I'm Toblin.
All right, Chilvin Toblin.
Toblin
Chilvin Toblin.
Stonehill.
Toblin Stone.
Very creative.
Toblerone.
Yeah.
I do love Toblerones.
Toblerone Tilbleston.
That's what they called me as a kid. That was my nickname. Well, here's your keys to your rooms.
Sandowish will take the keys back to the table, and we'll all sit at a table together and eat our food and drink our drinks.
How did the food taste in my mouth?
You know, maybe a little salty. You find human food not very subtle.
Once we're at the table, I'm ready to order as well. Trelina, I'm ready to order.
Hello there. What can I get you?
Let me just get the chicky fingers,
Okay.
like Caesar salad, and a diet soda.
A diet ale. Okay.
Diet ale.
All right. Well, more chicken and cabbage. We can do that. Elsa will bring you over your diet ale.
You seem like an extra crouton type of guy. I'm surprised you didn't order extra croutons.
Oh yeah, you're right. Can I get extra croutons on that, please?
More stale bread on it. Okay. I can do that.
It's stale bread. It's like a chicken leg, stale bread on boiled cabbage.
Yep. Boiled cabbage.
But the Sandowish, it looks like chicky fingers and a Caesar salad.
Isn't that a weird order? Because you have chicken fingers and then you have a Caesar salad which has chicken in it.
I didn't say chicken Caesar.
Oh, you have to say chicken Caesar.
I could just get a chicken Caesar salad. That'd be really basic, but I need an extra side of ranch too. Lard.
You don't want to know what they make ranch out of. And for you, sir?
Spendorious smiles at her. He says, "Do you have any steak?"
Yes, we do.
"Yes, that would be very nice. And then your finest wine." A glass, please.
We have cider.
Yes, well, cider, wine, whatever you suggest.
1 steak with boiled cabbage and cider. Coming right up. And she hurries off.
Spendorious stands up and follows her.
Oh, is there anything else you need before?
Wouldn't you like to ask how I would like my steak cooked?
Oh, goodness, I can't believe I forgot. Oh, how would you like your steak cooked, sir?
He lights up his cigarette from his cigarette holder, and he smiles and he says...
Let me guess. Well done.
And Spendorious smiles and he says, no. Blue, please. Blue.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad you stopped me before I had that steak cooked. I'll bring it out blue, just as you like.
That's a way you can have steak cooked?
It's like cold in the middle, yeah.
It's as rare as possible. It's still mooing. Spendorious goes and then he sits back down and he makes small talk with the group. Now look, y'all need to keep our voices down because I've got a serious business proposition I'd like for all of you to be brought in on.
You have a serious business proposition? Well, I want to get a part of that.
Spendorious says, shh. Friend, what is it that you do here in this town?
Mostly I'm not in town. I go out of town. I'm a miner. I'm looking for gold in them there hills.
And how much gold do you have now?
Well, not much. With the red brands and rumors of orc raiders over in the east end of the Drawborn Trail, I mean, the town master is looking for someone to run him off. I'm sure he'd give him a reward if he could do that. It certainly helped me out.
You have gold, then, from an already completed quest.
It probably still stuck down in the mines. I'll just so worry about them orcs.
You hide your savings in the mines? Where do you work exactly?
I'm not telling you where my plot is. You're gonna steal my gold.
Hey, listen, you brought it up here, buddy. All right?
Well, you said you had a big old deal for me.
Well, I'm not going to make a business deal with somebody that doesn't have any money, that keeps their savings in a non-existent savings in a mine somewhere.
That's how you get it. You gotta dig it out of the earth. There's gold in them there hills.
I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. He's off his rocker, Spendorious.
You look over at the man. He's looking at his beard going, ooh, ooh. Woo!
Spendorious looks at the server. He goes, I'll have what he's having.
Elsa says, you don't mind him. Old crazy Lennar. He's out in the hills too much by himself looking for gold.
Spendorious says, where is the, okay. All right, I want you to imagine for a second.
All right.
The richest person in town.
Well, let me think here.
Now, cross-reference that with who is the stupidest person in town.
Well, I must feel like that would be the town master, Harbin Wilson.
Now, cross-reference who is the stupidest, richest person in town.
I'd say, well, probably still Harbin Wester, the town master.
Yes. Now that is the kind of person we want to talk to. See, this is how we gather information.
I think the whole town would appreciate if you could help him run the red brands out, honey.
There's one problem that nobody seems to be able to solve. How do we know they are red brands if they are not wearing one of their capes?
Certainly most of us in town could point them out. They've robbed all of us.
Then how did you know they were red brands if they weren't, well, I guess at the time they were wearing them. Okay.
She bustles off.
All right, so here's what we're going to do now. We're going to go to this town master, see? And what we're going to do is we're going to tell him that we have a nice plot of land that we've recently acquired that we're willing to sell him for the low price of 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold?
And then we will use that capital to start our corporation of power.
Lennar pipes back up. What? You got gold?
Yes, spread the word across town right now.
Gold!
Yes!
Yeah, gold! Yee-hoo! Gold!
The Goblin Cave did turn out to be a gold mine.
Gold in them there Goblin Caves! And Lennar jumps up from the table and runs out of the building. Before he runs out the front door, he grabs his pickaxe by the coat rack.
Send them to the Stonehill Inn.
See Lennar pop back in and grab his hat and he goes, I will! Gold!
and he runs back out.
We'll be raking in the money soon, boys. Just stick with me.
Won't this acquisition of 1,000 gold make us all the more a target for the red brands?
No, because it'll be all hush-hush, you see. We'll have it deposited through a very complex series of different bank accounts in different nations.
Dirt-covered man pipes up and he says, well, if it's gold you're looking for, maybe you should talk to Sister Gareli. She oversees the Shrine of Luck, so you might need a little bit of luck there to help you out with that gold.
We do not need luck.
That's fair. She recently left town for a few days, and when she returned, she was wounded and exhausted, so she's probably not in a good mood to help you anyway.
It is true. Every learned man knows that luck is merely an excuse for the lazy to not succeed.
But I'll say it certainly helped with my orchard.
No, that was through your own hard work, through your own power.
I'm a local drunk. I don't do very good in the fields.
Knowledge and diligence, a man's mind is in bloom perennially.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's all those kids I have. They're pretty good at fixing up them crops.
It sounds like you are quite good at being a functional alcoholic. That's got to be worth something, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And he goes back to eating his food.
Don't sell yourself short, my friend.
Good point. Elsa, I'll take another ale then. Give me 2 more ales.
Spendorious looks around and he says, we need to find a rube around here who's ready to part with his money.
Well, wouldn't that be the town master?
Should we go visit him tonight? You can feel in the air the crackle of energy. A storm is coming soon.
Okay, Spendorious.
I think it's time.
I am behind your plan. I think we should try it, but I know I've been sort of the, not the mouthpiece, but the, well, somewhat of the brains of the operation, the thinking man in this crew. If we go see the town master, this rube we are trying to convince that we have land that we want to sell him, I think you should do the bulk of the talking.
Oh, I will. I've worked the whole script out in my head while I was here. In fact, I have the script worked out so perfectly, like a chess game. I have every move completely memorized, so it's impossible for him to talk his way out of it.
Sandowish feels someone tugging at his side. Sir!
I look up.
This person's actually shorter than you.
Oh.
It's a little boy trying to give you your change.
Sandowish says, oh, hey there, little man.
Hi, I'm Pip. Are you looking for the red brands?
Quiet, boy. Don't speak too loudly.
I just heard you talking about them.
Oh, right. Yeah, do you know where they might be?
Well, Quinline Alderleaf's son, Carp, said he found a secret tunnel in the woods, but the red brands almost caught him, so they seem to not want him near that. Name's Pip.
All right, Pip. Where's the tunnel? Just tell me right now.
I think our son can lead you to it. I don't know where it is.
Tell you what, go fetch him for me and I'll give you you can keep my change.
No, you can go to Alderleaf's house to find him.
All right, thanks, kid. Now get out of here.
The woman says, hey, that's not very nice. He's trying to tell you about the red brands. They're hustling every business in town except for Phandalin's minor exchange because they don't want trouble with Leah Thornton, who runs it.
Excuse me? Did you just say Hadia Thornton?
Yeah, Halia.
Halia Thornton? She's in this town?
Yeah, and the red brands had nothing to do with her.
Well, where can I find Halia Thornton?
Well, she runs the minor exchange.
Well, where is she? Like, where does she live?
I'm not sure. I just think she might live there. You should just go there when they're open during their business hours.
Okay, I will. Fine. Thanks.
You're welcome, young man. Why don't you go play with Pip? He's your age.
Sandowish sighs. Oh, it's just like how people look at me, the way people treat me. Can't believe it.
You must rest assured in your own mind where your perception of yourself lies and your ensconcement of your own personhood, and know that you are cool. I saw you shoot a bow with so much expertise. You don't even need to worry about these people who look down upon you and call you these pejorative things.
I've never met someone who doesn't look down on me, literally. I know in my dark heart that I stand tall above everyone else.
And that is the attitude you must hold on to. It is the ego that will get us through. The stupid ego that can break through.
Sandowish just nods at Azorio, dumbfounded. I love how Azorio's like, yeah, you guys just like build your stupid big egos and we'll get through this. With these like scene kids.
Yeah. But we think that he's like really smart. We like buy into it. We're like, yes, so this guy is clearly like validating.
As for our lofty plans and ideals, I just wanted to say that I am in possession of a spell that can put someone to sleep in a blink of an eye. If we were to go the route of kidnapping a member of the Red Brand, this could be of aid to us if we were to go that route.
Kidnapping! You look over and Pip has a big mug of ale. Tell me more.
Spendorious says, yes, young Pip, come hither.
Oh boy! And he hops down and he waddles over and he hops up next to Spendorious.
Spendorious puts him on his leg.
Oh wee!
Spendorious has his arm around him and he says, young Pip, can you please tell us some more about the Red Brands? For example, is it possible that perhaps
My name's Pip!
we could perhaps kidnap Red Brands, steal their red capes, then we could wear those red capes. And then when we're alone with the leader, Azorio casts his sleep spell, and then
Where'd you get that knife?
that's when we do it.
Oh my god! Don't kill me! Ah! Ah!
Spendorious, he picks him up, and I'm assuming his legs are kicking and stuff, and so Spendorious puts him up.
Ah! He's spilling ale all over you.
Okay, Spendorious puts him on the ground and says, go, be gone with you. Be gone with you. Ah, shit. Ah.
Trulina pops out from the back. She's like, Pip, leave the customers alone. You're always causing trouble here. Pip, you'll end up like all Dindar's kids. Leave those customers alone.
Spendorious yells into the room, who is Paul Dindar?
Yeah, who's this Paul guy?
And all the NPCs turn around and they all say in unison,
Paul! Trulina walks up. Oh my, you haven't heard of the Dindar family? Oh, it's so tragic. Thal was a local wood carver, and he stood up to the Red Branch just 10 days ago when they came by his shop and leered at his wife. How romantic. But the ruffians murdered him. Several sound folks saw it happen, and the Red Brands grabbed his body, and now, oh, it's too horrible. But now his wife and his daughter and his son have gone missing too. Oh, when will this plague of the Red Brands ever end? We would be so grateful for anyone who could rid us of these terrible red-cloaked red bands. Oh, Pip, come here. I'm sorry I yelled at you. My name's Pip.
Spendorious, a tear is running down his face and he has out a tissue and he blows his nose and he says, oh, a touching tale indeed.
It points at you and says, ha ha, you're a crybaby.
Spendorious says, it just makes me so upset the injustice that the Red Brands bring to this village and how they oppress the people. It's time for them to see how true justice is brought by the Neverwinter aristocracy.
Yay!
Well, I see this news of these people who have been kidnapped and snatched away as merely another fly buzzing in our ears in the midst of meditation when we are in a room full of shit.
Oh, nice.
I think that if this helps further your lust to see these Red Brands brought to justice, then that's great. But I, for one, see this as just a little bit of a disruption in the flow of things, like something impinging a neuron in a brain firing.
What's a brain?
Quiet. Adults are talking.
Adults are talking.
Actually, my friend Spendorious, I was actually quite intrigued by this plan you were hatching. Do you think there's any way we could refine this plan and actually make it work?
Yes, I do.
Let me see if I heard you right. We will try to find some of these Red Brands while they are walking amongst the street, about to waylay somebody, and we will simply beat up this group of maybe 1 or 2 or 3 Red Brands, steal their capes, and then by way of impostery, work our way towards the leader of the Red Brands.
Yeah.
And then make him fall asleep, take him for ransom, and then we will have the Red Brands under our thumb. Did I hear you correctly?
No, you did not.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what you said. That was a good plan.
Sildar agrees as well.
That is what I said, but what you failed to realize is that I have already been convinced by Azorio's argument, and that I think what he was really saying is that we should come back here at a later time because it's like flies buzzing in a room full of shit. When we clean out the shit, we will come back at level 14 and we will not need a plan. We will go straight there, kick down the door, and rip out their throats with our bare hands without even wearing any armor because we are such high-level badasses.
Sildar says, well, if you are trying to execute that plan anyway, I think you'll just find, it sounds like the Red Brants hang out at the Sleeping Giant tap house, and we could go there and potentially capture a few of their cloaks.
Yes.
Why will we need to acquire cloaks when we are level 14?
Sure, but that might...
It's a very silly plan and a complete waste of our time at that level.
I don't know what these levels you're talking about are, but maybe a 14 tall foot...
At level 14, we should be traveling in different planes and traversing and riding around on dragons and not going into small villages and settling small past grievances. That is a complete abuse of our great power.
You're talking about a parapet that's 14 levels high? Anyway, it sounds like that might take some time, and you could just go down to the Sleeping Giant tap house and...
But Azorio just said that this would be like us addressing the problem of flies in a room full of shit. Isn't that correct, Azorio?
That is not what I meant. I meant this sentimental tale of these people who had been snatched away. That is merely another piece of news that is just like something that happens every day, like a goblin raid outside of a village. You know, I was just saying that we shouldn't get caught into the particulars of these sob stories, that we should know that this is our quest and that we do not need to get too bogged down by the sentimentality of each individual tale and each individual hardship.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Well, that's very cold-hearted of you. These are people too. Just like Mario is someone that I need to find because we need to defend these lands as a part of the Lord's Alliance.
Right.
Azorio, I am a psychopath, and I do think that does sound a little bit cold-hearted, actually, to be honest. Just my 2 copper pieces.
I mean, I know you're an elf and you've lived for a long time, but us humans do appreciate the little time we do have on Earth. I don't think that these goblin raids are trivial at all. I mean, me and Mario used to help defend against such things so that the towns in these areas could foster and flourish.
Azorio, I know you are a learned man, but we humans have something we call empathy, I think. It could be a foreign concept you're not familiar with, but it makes us actually care and look after each other, unlike you cold elves in your individualistic, self-centered, selfish culture.
And see, the strange thing is that he actually has a condition where he doesn't have empathy and he still finds your statements so cold.
Exactly.
Well, take it or leave it. If it suits you well, use it. One thing I have found in my pursuit of knowledge and in my pursuit of the ancient aeons and all of the history that has been passing is that so many things just repeat themselves. And if you get caught in the particulars, you fail to see the big picture. If you look at the trees, you do not see the forest. And the forest is where my people dwell. We are not cold people, but some of us operate in certain distinct ways. Like when I left my village to seek better for my people, to ultimately come back. As you have said, we should come back at level 14, but I think that is cowardly. So do not look at me and say that you are a psychopath who sees worse in me, because I, my friend, do not think that we should go away and do a bunch of grinding, as one might say, and come back. You are drawing a page from the lore of perhaps Erasmus, Edward, and Steve Stimball when they went to...
I love those stories!
They went to the land of Stroud, and they ended up leaving, although Erasmus had divine light pour through him, as I have read about in my pages.
Oh, I love that story.
Spendorious is ready to hit the town, but if you guys want to go to bed, that's fine.
All right. I think we need to get Halia on our side, hatch a plan, which it looks like we've done, and then we gotta hit many birds with us 4 stones. Maybe that'd be a cool group name for us, too. That's probably priority number 1. Get a cool group name for our party, the 4 stones.
Pip says, "Can I be one of the stones?"
The 5 stones. The rolling stones.
Oh, Oh, carp can be one too.
6 stones.
What about the stones 5?
The stones 5. I like that.
And then every episode, one of us will be stoned. The audience will have to figure it out.
You have to guess who it is.
You have to guess who it is.
I'm ready to kill again.
Yeah, how many men have you slain?
Spendorious says, well, if you're all ready to turn in, then I suppose I'll turn in as well. However, I thought that tonight we were finally going to be able to really get our plans in motion as they have been written in the stars.
I love living here. It's like having a slumber party every night.
There's no way I can show my face in the sleeping giant without being recognized as a former red brand.
I think we need Sildar to pull this off.
Spendorious says, look here, all I know is that as an expert in makeup and altering one's appearance, it would be very, very easily for us to pull off a disguise for you, my friend.
Except for that, I'm only 2'9", so like people know me as that little guy.
There's other little guys here in the village. We've seen them.
Or we could wait outside of the sleeping giant until some of the red brands go back to their secret tunnel and follow them, and then we would know how to get there whenever we want to go.
I think that sounds like a really good plan, and I'm ready. I'm itching to bring to justice the sons of bitches that did this shit to you.
Don't forget Carp knows where that tunnel is too.
We need to show them how things are done in the city. We need to bring law and order to this lawless shithole place.
So do we want to wait for tomorrow and find this little kid to tell us where the tunnel is, or just go find it now?
I say we strike while the iron is hot right now. And he starts fingering the blade of his great axe.
That's creepy.
Whoa, Spendorious, when you get that look in your eye, it's freaking everyone out. Azorio, what have you to say?
I think that the 4 stones would best be cast if we could do it as the 4 stones, including Sildar.
And Pip, the 5th stone?
Yeah, murder!
He ain't in the 4 stones, man.
Spendorious says, what? Why not?
Yeah, he's going to show us where that kid is tomorrow. Who knows where the cave is?
He's the 5th beetle. He's the George Martin.
The 4 stones and the 1 pebble.
I'm the muscle.
Yes, the muscle.
I know what you're thinking. It makes sense to get at these people in the sleeping giant while they are late at night and they are drunk on strong drink. But what if we got them early in the morning?
Isn't that just like saying we're going to get them late at night because early in the morning is technically late at night?
No, I mean when they're first rising. I don't know if that would work or not. I'm just spitballing here.
You're supposed to be the educated one.
I know.
You're supposed to be the learned man. What's going on here?
Yeah.
It appears perhaps as if things work differently in the human lands than what you are used to. Perhaps it is because elves do not sleep.
Yes, I know. I feel like I need to go into my meditative trance, for it has been a while since I've done so.
Wait, so you're telling me we need to wait until the morning because you're tired even though you don't actually sleep?
Well, he gets cranky if he doesn't meditate.
Exactly.
So we need to put all of our lives at risk. I thought you said, aren't you here to adventure? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Where is your sense of journey? Where is your sense of glory? Where is your sense of destiny? Where is your sense of
Bloodthirst.
of sticking it where it doesn't belong?
Okay.
He said,
Is the plan to still try to acquire some capes, or are we just going there to FSU?
Spendorious says, first, we need rope. What we're going to do, I think, is we will get some money and we will attach it to rope with a loop, right? And then we will have it dangling and fluttering around in the breeze. And then when they reach down, we'll pull it and we'll yank them into the alleyway. And we'll do that 5 times.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And that will give us the capes. And then we will pass into their group and nobody will recognize us because we will be wearing masks. Because tonight in this tavern, there is a masquerade ball because it is the town master's birthday.
But Spendorious, what are we gonna do with the bodies when they slit their throats?
Excuse me?
They're corpses. We can use them to fertile our fields.
We don't actually need to kill anybody. We merely incapacitate.
Consider me out of these 4 and 5 stones! I'm the boulder!
What?
I'm the boulder! And he's
But you look.
Pip storms off.
Well, if he joins us or not, Azorio, Sandowish, you're in charge of managing him, or else the other NPC is in charge of managing him. In the meantime, he yells out to the tavern owner, wife, Mistress,
Yes,
bring us rope, now!
But you'll have to go to the Barthen's Provisions for something like that.
Well, why haven't you sent somebody yet? We need rope and we need it now. We have a plan to...
They're closed! You gotta wait until the morning.
You don't have any rope in this establishment.
Not the amount you probably need.
Okay, bring us bed sheets. We'll pay handsomely for them.
Well, they're up in your room on your bed.
But we're going to use them to hook people into the alleyway.
I don't care what you use them for as long as you don't soil them too much. I have to clean them myself.
Well, I'm paying you in the event that these don't get returned.
Fair, but I'll have to go to Barthen's Provisions to get new teeth.
And you know
Might
what?
as well just wait until tomorrow morning.
Why would we do this tomorrow morning in broad daylight, this cockamamie scheme?
Well, it seems like your elven friend is awfully cranky without his daily meditation.
No, I've changed my tune. I can power through.
Yes.
And in fact, I think we only need one of the capes, for I think that I could go into the quarters of the Red Brand and make the leader fall asleep.
Yes, and then you open the door, and then Pip slits his throat.
Oh my, Pip got you into something again? That boy, he's always so much trouble.
Or better yet, we humiliate the leader, right? Perhaps we draw genitals on his face while he is asleep. That will humiliate him in front of the rest of the Red Brands, and then we will control all of them, and we will change their allegiance, and the Red Brands will no longer exist. They will belong to the 5 stones, and we will use them for humanitarian and egalitarian purposes.
There's only 4 now.
I am now perceiving that I may have been swayed by some of your charisma, Spendorious. Sandowish, you have remained quiet for some time, and you are the one who knows the most about the Red Brand. Do you think we're thinking about this the right way, or should we just go in with brute force and wipe the table with them?
Going with brute force, we will be killed. We must use subtle subterfuge.
The red tough. But I would say this. If we can get in there and get some of those capes tonight, we'd be better off. But I also know that we may have more friends here than we know of. Halia, for example, could help us on the morrow. And Pip could find that other boy who knows where their hideout is.
I don't like you anymore.
Pip, we will pay you handsomely to sneak into the Red Brand's hideout and unlock the front door. And then under shadow and sneak thievery, one of us can move in. Well, perhaps it would have to be Azorio. He would put the leader to sleep, and then you can slit his throat.
Yay!
Or perhaps you can just sneak in there and slit his throat now.
Pip pops out from under the table. Yay, money for murder! Ferlina says, oh no, Pip. No, the only thing you're going to do with these gentlemen is show them how to get to Elderly's farm. That's all you're allowed to do. Oh, you never let me do anything fun! Oh! And Pip storms off to his room.
We don't need him anyway. We'll just stick to the original plan with the loop. They'll be walking along, and then we'll hook them.
All right. Let's go.
We need some money.
I don't do well with plans. I like to fly by the seat of my pants. Luck is on our side.
We need to at least plan out some way to get a blanket.
Go get a blanket from your room, and I want to see your trick that you're going to do down there at the tavern.
Okay. Spendorious goes upstairs and gets a blanket from the room, and he sees if he can try and make it so that it's like a loop. Hey, everybody, we're gonna play a game to see if you can play dodge the loop. I was trying to get people to start clapping along together. So
There's 3 people there though.
It's can you pass them up? It goes hold on. It goes can you pass them up? pass on the loop, pass on the farm, pass on the loop all day long. And then it's like, and you put your foot out like while I'm trying to like yank.
Narth, the farmer, is so drunk, he's like, pass on the loop, pass on the farm,
Pass on the loop, pass on the farm. Gonna find out if you're naughty. Well, yeah.
I'm always naughty. I got a field to reap tomorrow.
I think since we started playing in the summer of 2018, this is some of the loopiest shit we've ever come up with.
Literally loopy.
Anson's fault.
It's literally
all
loopy.
Anson's fault. He's the one. It's because we're being serious, and then he has a goofy kid jumping around trying to talk about like encouraging murder.
I like the goofy kid.
I'll tell you what's loopy.
It's Anson's fault for making every character silly and from Brooklyn.
I'll tell you what's loopy.
Every character drives a taxi.
I'll tell you what's loopy.
Who is this? Which character is this?
I'm Narth.
Is this anybody?
I'll run a fun.
Is this a new character?
I'm the functioning alcoholic. It's been several hours since we last talked.
Okay. Anyway, so we,
And I'm telling you,
we're playing Pass Through the Loop.
oh
Pass through the
yeah,
loop.
give me that bad.
Pass through the loop.
Pass the P. You try to hook Narth with the blanket hook. It's like a hokey pokey. I got you, pretty ma. Okay. Oh yeah. I'll pass the loop. And he's putting his foot in.
Pass through the loop. Pass through the loop.
And you tighten it.
Pass through the loop. Always sing this song. Pass through the loop.
And he puts his foot down in the center of the loop, and you pull it, and it tightens around his ankle. And he's like, "Oh, I guess I lost." But it doesn't pull him over or anything. It's actually really hard to pull him towards you with the slipperiness of the blanket.
Sandowish says, Spendorious, it worked really good. Let's go try it out.
Yeah.
For real this time.
Where are we?
What are you afraid?
Where are we going? Where are we going, guys? The forest stones. The forest stones.
Spendorious says, instead of the blanket, should we get a long piece of wood and then we get another piece of wood that's shorter and we nail it so that we have a hook? If someone's walking along, we can hook them and hook them into the alley.
On my farm, I got hooks and I got boards.
Or does anybody have any whips? We could whip somebody and.
That's what I got at my farm. You gotta whip them beast murder.
So what do you guys think? Blanket, hook, or whip?
Well, I'd love to see you try your blanket idea on those red brands, Spendorious.
I had a good time.
Even if we were to just get one cape, it would be worth it.
Yes. Let's go to the sleeping giant right now, and we'll set up Spendorious outside with the blanket.
I'll go, boys.
Azorio and I lay in wait across the street.
We're gonna do blanket, or we're gonna do hook, or we're gonna do whip.
Blanket.
Let's go, boys. Let's go right now. Let's go to the sleeping giant. Because they got horror looking there.
Of course, we just bring this guy along with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. He's coming too. He's coming. Everybody's gonna roll, man. Everybody's gonna roll.
You hear Trina go, "Oh no, Garth, you're going home to your 14 kids and your 2 wives. You're going home right now, Garth. Get out of here. Go straight to your farm. 5.
Garth, don't get over here. Get over here. Don't listen to her.
I gotta listen to Trillia and Tara and Becky talk.
I'll do your work.
And I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm getting out of here.
I'll do your work tomorrow for you. I'll do your work tomorrow for you. Okay? Just come with us.
No, gotta get. I'm leaving. He leaves.
Fuck. We don't need that guy. We don't need that guy.
The woman that's sitting there, she says, I'd hate to interrupt, but I am a weaver and I know something about fabric. And I personally think that your blanket rope idea would be best if you were going through with this foolproof plan.
Well, if you are a weaver, do you have access to red fabric?
I could weave it in a month or 2.
We don't quite have that time.
Splendoria says, if I paid you all of the money I have right now, could you make a red cape like the red brands in 15 minutes?
No, I'd have to work on it all tomorrow, but I could make you a cape tomorrow.
Forget it. Thank you for your time. Let's find the nearest alleyway and let's get hooking. My plan is going to work one way or another. But if it doesn't, then I want the same offer on the table, half price, and we'll wait a half day. I think that's fair.
If you're gonna have a rush job, I'll say 1 GP each.
Okay, you got yourself a deal.
Fine.
My deal was better, but I'll take yours.
Fine. Well, come looking for Frida, the Weaver, tomorrow if you wish to have these capes.
So Spendorious says, I think that's just kind of pointless information at this point, considering that I think our plan that we've all come up with together tonight is really going to get things moving.
One thing's for sure, it will work to strike fear into their hearts.
It's true. It's true. You know, all too often there are so many people who think that they can just live in this world lawlessly. What they don't realize is that the law eventually does catch up to them. And when it does, it really cracks their skulls like a peanut shell in a nutcracker.
That it does.
That's what my father always said.
All right, Spendorious, let's go. I want to see this happen.
Yes, he goes. And it does. Okay,
And that cat said, that's what my father always said.
Okay.
You head down and you find a rundown tap house that is dirty and dusty. You can see through the window 4 men with red crimson capes at a table with what looks like Narth with a large glass of some brown liquid, and you hear him singing, "Pass the loop, pass the loop, pass the loop, pass the loop, pass the loop." And they're all in there with a loop made out of a rope, sticking their foot in and out. And you see the 4 red brands start singing, "Pass the loop, pass the loop, pass the loop, pass the loop."
Okay. Hold on.
And you hear North go, "I'm never going home. I'm never going home again. You guys were great. Can I join you guys?"
Spendorious looks back at you guys and he says, "Well, should we switch to the hook, or should we say, okay, new plan. All right, so Spendorious gathers a huddle.
I think as they're already playing with a loop, the bed sheet should be quite apropos.
Spendorious says, here's what we're going to do. We'll find a reason to go in there, and we'll say that we've got a pub-wide celebration because of the master's birthday, right? So because there's this party going on, they're playing Pass Through the Loop all over the town, and so what we're going to do is there's a side game of Pass Through the Loop outside, and we're going to tell one guy, and he's going to be drunk, and he's going to come out there, and that's when we're going to play Pass Through the Loop with him into the alleyway.
You hear the front door of the sleeping giant open, and one of the red brands walks out very intoxicated and steps over to the side, starts peeing, and you hear him under his breath say, "Pass the loop, pass the lie, pass the loop."
Sandowish says to Spendorious, "Now's your chance." And then Sandowish and Azorio go and hide in the shadows across the street and leave Spendorious there to do his trickery.
Okay, so Spendorious tries to sneak up the side of the building. Yeah, he tries to make it so he's like hiding in the shed. Wait. Is anybody even around?
No, he's just out there by himself.
Spendorious goes up behind him and tries to incapacitate him.
When Spendorious starts to incapacitate the red brand, Sandowish, his jaw drops. He's like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Spendorious sneaks up behind the urinating red brand and grabs him from the shadows with surprise. He has control over the red brand, his mouth covered and pee spraying wildly as he tries to free himself from Spendorious's grant. He keeps thrashing, but he can't seem to get a tight enough lock around his throat to knock him out. You wish you had listened to Pip. Slashed his throat.
Seeing the struggle and the pee and how the plan isn't quite working out, Sandowish will bolt across the road and snatch the cape off of the red brand.
From the shadows, Sandwish's small, plump body flashes across the street, rips the cape from the back of the red brand, only getting a few droplets of urine on it as he darts back into the shadows and leaves Spendorious there with the red brand still in his grasp, pee spraying.
Sandowish says, let's go, let's get out of here, and runs away.
Azorio breaks into a jaunt.
Let's go, let's get out of here, guys.
Now we have something that the Weaver can use as a prototype.
Spendorious then shoves the guy into the mud. Spendorious says, prepare to taste the boot of the aristocracy of Neverwinter. And then he spits and he runs away.
You run away, throwing the red brand into the mud. He falls with his pants around his ankles into the street. He quickly pulls them up and gets to his feet, and he runs into the giant. Unfortunate for him, they had laid a loop for him. And his 4 companions pull as hard as they can, pulling him to his feet. He hits his head on the floor and is knocked unconscious. Narth, holding on to the end of that rope, says, oh boy, I can't wait till I join this group. I'm never going back to that farm. I'm joining tonight, boys. I'm getting my cape. The 3 of you run back to the Stone Hill End, and no one follows because the would-be witness has been knocked unconscious.
See, guys, just like I told you, we don't need a plan. We just need a little luck on our side. Just take action when the time's right. You got to look for those little fleeting moments of opportunity.
You walk in. Frida's still at the table, finishing up her last cider.
I take the bed sheet from Spendorious. I take the cape from Sandowish. I walk over to Frida and showing her the cape, but then concealing it in the bed sheet, I say, here, we found a cape from the red brands. It's better you not ask too much as to how we acquired it.
Oh, God. Where did you get this? It smells like piss. Oh, God.
Sorry about that. We will pay you an extra 2 gold pieces because of the stench.
Oh, okay, but jeez. I don't want to know. I don't even want to know how you got this. Just give it to me. I'm going home.
Can you?
I'll have it ready for you by day's end tomorrow.
3 more of them?
Yes, I'll make you 3 more of them for your 4 stones. Whoever the 4th is, I don't know. It sounds like half the town is now.
Splendoria says, how many can you possibly make for us in the allotted time?
I'll make you 3. That's all I can do.
Okay, here's an advance. How many gold did you say it was?
Well, now it's 5 for your piss-soaked cape pattern here.
Here's 5 gold.
All right, well, I'll see you at day's end tomorrow. And she walks out holding the cape as far away from her nose as she can.
Well done, boys. Well done indeed. And we did it all without any inspiration.
The 3 are the only customers left at the Stone Inn. Elsa walks up and says, well, do you boys want anything else before I get out of here? After that, there's no more ale.
Probably have a celebratory round from our outing before we hit the old haystack.
Yes, a night would be fine.
There you go. All right, boys. Well, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. And she brings you out each an ale and then heads on home herself.
Okay, we drink it and go to bed, yeah?
While you drink it, you feel the prying eyes of some small boy. And then you go to bed. You worry of your throats.
Before you all go to bed, we're all in the hall or whatever saying goodnight, I guess. It's kind of...
You hear Pip say, get a room.
I call Pip over.
Yeah.
I say to everybody involved, remember everybody, a wise man once said, fortune favors the bold.
All right, later.
Can you read me one of those Moat House gold stories before I go to bed?
Splendoria says, fine, I'll tell you a story.
And you all go to bed.
Good night, Moon.
And after reading Pip your Moat House gold story, he falls into a deep sleep.
Splendorious, as he's falling asleep, he says, I forgot how the story ended in such a strange way. That particular one. And then he falls asleep. many dreams.
Then he gets up in the night to go pee once.
In the bedpan,
Careful not to get on his cape.
he says, this urine reminds me of the cape. The woman said it smelled like piss, but why would it smell like piss if it was soaked in beer? Wouldn't it smell like beer, not piss?
But he peed all over it when...
Oh, right. But Spendorious doesn't realize that because he was in the struggle, and so he thinks maybe it speaks to the quality of the beer in this town. It literally is piss.
That must be why you don't notice that your pants legs are soaked in piss.
Not again.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And then, like, Spendorious jumps in the air and it freezes. And then it's like, executive producer Paul Warren.
Well, do you want to wake up and do more stuff in the morning, or?
Do we wake up?
Wait, are we still playing?
No, I think I'm pretty good for now.
Okay. That's good, because you don't wake up in the morning. Pip has slit your throats in the middle of the night.
Have a great campaign, guys.
Hey, guys!
Sponsors by Anton's mom.
Okay, bye.